Yeah, well, we're very particular, and in the last year, we've really gone to the marketplace and made clear delineations about who we partner with and the solutions that they add to the Dish offering, right? Our number one solution is to sell our live linear inventory across Dish and Sling, and there are a few different ways that we allow folks to transact with that, be it direct IO or programmatically. And then when we look at the solutions, it's really based on an advertiser and agency's KPIs. If they're looking to get broad reach, then linear is the proper solution for that. If they're looking to target specific audience segments that go beyond age and gender, then we'll introduce addressable advertising, which we've been doing now for 8 years. So we're pretty much experts in the space, and we help to drive the marketplace forward in that regard. But when it comes to partnerships, we're not designed to be a local sales solution. So we've identified partners that allow us to have local reach and really drive down to tier 2, tier 3, depending on the category. And what we have found becomes additive. We look to make sure that we mitigate sales channel conflict in the marketplace. And we want to be very clear with the buying community about how and why you work with Dish and the various channels in which you can engage with our inventory.
Great, great. Now, is it interesting? Do you find that people are sort of surprised, confused, or combination that they can buy both Dish and Sling together?
For a long time, yeah, it was confusing, and intentionally to make sure that we didn't have any erosion from our Dish product as a result of the Sling. Because if you think about Dish and the core audience and the core consumer that we're trying to reach, and Sling really introduced the idea of the skinny bundle. The concept was there, but we were the first to truly transact and put that out in the marketplace. And so a lot of the buying community and consumers, so we're looking at the B2C and B2B sides of our business, they were not aware that Dish Media encompassed both Dish television and Sling television. So some of that had to be a bit of an education, and we think our sales team helped to drive that messaging into the marketplace. And then, the idea of how you transact against the two platforms, they were looked at very disparate solutions, and by combining them with cross-platform addressable, where we were also leaders in the marketplace, actually allowing for one point of execution, one IO to be executed against two different platforms identifying the same audience. To us, if you're looking for auto intenders who have a certain age and income and geo-target, we have them on both platforms, so why not combine that reach to really give a unique solution to the marketplace? And our advertisers have really responded well to it.
Right, right. Now you guys are also one of the few national MVPDs. Yes. So now, somebody who's looking to reach an addressable audience? What is your advantage? What's the advantage to that for them?
So just that, the idea that we're in all 210 DMAs.
Right.
So the reach is there. And that's important depending on the vertical. If you're looking at auto, insurance, political, having that scope into the regional differences. Take Home Depot, for example, right? If you're looking at a home improvement solution, what's going on in the Northeast in January, which we're in right now, is going to be quite different than the Southwest. And so when we look at partners like that and being able to execute against a national campaign with different messaging for different regions. And as this is a political year, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about how we, in 2012 launched National Addressable, and where that really skyrocketed was the solution it provided for political advertisers. The overarching scope is that when it comes to reach and you hit a certain threshold where you actually plateau, and then the cost of reaching that additional 15 to 20% of your targeted audience, it becomes much more cost prohibitive to try and acquire that group. By using addressable, we can identify who's seen the ad, and then by identifying who hasn't seen it or who's been underserved, we can then hyper target that audience by using our incremental reach solution, which is called Reach Booster. And a few different MVPDs have joined in, and they have similar solutions in the marketplace, but they all look to solve that problem, which we've heard is a major pain point for advertisers and agencies. How do you reach that underserved or very, very hard to reach light TV viewer? So this is a solution that attacks that and solves for that directly.
That's interesting. So one last thing, you guys were sort of pioneers in this whole notion of MVPD addressable, and now everybody's sort of coming on the bandwagon. I mean, where do you see that going now? Do you think that it's going to suddenly, that everybody's going to start working together? It'll become easier to buy, which seems to be something that everybody is asking for across all the different platforms. So do you see everybody starting to cooperate?
That's a great question. And where we see it going is it's twofold. Convergence, and you touched on it earlier, the idea of how do I buy against different audiences, against different platforms. So VMVPDs, partnered with traditional MVPDs. How do I buy those audiences once I've identified them across those platforms? So that convergence, we're helping to pioneer that, and we think you're going to see scale come on board there. Additionally, you hit on a point about partnerships and how multiple MVPDs aligned. And there's some third-party solutions that have come across to help buy and transact easier. We think that's going to continue to gain scale and gain momentum in the marketplace. And that's one of the areas that we're focused on. How do we become very, very easy to transact? If you want to buy the Dish audience, and the way I look at it is, if you look at how purchasing decisions in the consumer marketplace have evolved, we were a very cash-based society. Then you had the option to buy by check. Then eventually checking card and then credit card and your debit card now. So we want to have media being transacted. I'm talking about the purchasing decision. How do I buy that programmatically? And we think that's where addressable is going to be going. So we do addressable programmatic right now on our OTT platform, which is Sling. We're moving our traditional Dish TV platform in that same direction.
Right, and how have the advertisers and their agencies been reacting to that? Are they generally pretty happy about it?
Absolutely, and we're still looking to get partners on board. The buying community has to wrap their head around it and understand the value. But because I think there's so much noise in the marketplace, a lot of folks are claiming to have the ability to do addressable. And to us, and I talked about on the panel today, addressable is one-to-one household level targeting, right? Utilizing deterministic data. Those two things, right? And once you have the ability to do that, and once we make it very clear in the marketplace that's what it is, then when you bring MVPD inventory, premium video to that, and you have true ability to transact programmatically, that's a massive solution that touches on so many different pain points that we heard about today from agencies and advertisers.